Holly drops a bomb on Sasha and reveals the identity of her father, but that's not the biggest shock. Thursday, October 17, 2024. Today on General Hospital, Sam and Dante tell their kids that Sam is a match to save Lulu, Rick sets Christina up to explode in public, and Tracy confronts Cody about his need for money. Please note that if you purchase something by clicking on a link within this story, we may receive a small commission of the sale. On the steps of the Quartermain mansion, Sasha asks what her mother, Holly, is doing here. Sasha assumes she's trying to rope her into one of her scams as usual. Holly says there is no scam this time, and she is trying to save her from disaster. Sasha says she's already on thin ice here at work, so she doesn't need her to cause more problems for her. Holly barges in and is stunned that her daughter works as a cook for the Quartermains. She assumes she's running a con, but Sasha says she is gainfully employed here. Sasha says her mom has caused her enough trouble over the years, like when she left her with that creepy Vickers guy in Landview. Holly reminds her that Ethan was in trouble and she had to help him. Sasha screams, "Ethan's always in trouble." Sasha was just glad Nona took her in. Holly knows she isn't the mother that Sasha deserved, and she can't make up for her past mistakes, but she can stop her from making a terrible mistake now. Sasha asks what mistake she is about to make. Holly tells her, getting more involved with Cody Bell. Sasha tells her mother that she's fallen in love with Cody, and he is a good man. Holly tells her nothing good can come from this relationship and reveals Cody is your cousin. Sasha thinks this is low even for her. Holly says she never told her who her father was, even though she always asked her about him. Holly explained she thought her father was dead when she got pregnant with her. When he resurfaced, people were after him. She had to protect her, as Scorpios have enemies. Holly says Mac did, and so did her father, Robert. Is a match to save Lulu, Rick sets Christina up to explode in public, and Tracy confronts Cody about his need for money. On the steps of the Quartermain mansion, Sasha asks what her mother, Holly, is doing here. Sasha assumes she's trying to rope her into one of her scams as usual. Holly says there is no scam this time, and she is trying to save her from disaster. Sasha says she's already on thin ice here at work, so she doesn't need her to cause more problems for her. Holly barges in and is stunned that her daughter works as a cook for the Quartermains. She assumes she's running a con, but Sasha says she is gainfully employed here. Sasha says her mom has caused her enough trouble over the years, like when she left her with that creepy Vickers guy in Landview. Holly reminds her that Ethan was in trouble and she had to help him. Sasha screams, "Ethan's always in trouble." Sasha was just glad Nona took her in. Holly knows she isn't the mother that Sasha deserved, and she can't make up for her past mistakes, but she can stop her from making a terrible mistake now. Sasha asks what mistake she is about to make. Holly tells her, getting more involved with Cody Bell. Sasha tells her mother that she's fallen in love with Cody, and he is a good man. Holly tells her nothing good can come from this relationship and reveals Cody is your cousin. Sasha thinks this is low even for her. Holly says she never told her who her father was, even though she always asked her about him. Holly explains she thought her father was dead when she got pregnant with her. When he resurfaced, people were after him. She had to protect her, as Scorpios have enemies. Holly says Mac did, and so did her father, Robert. Sasha calls her a liar, but Holly swears it is the truth. Sasha says if it is true, how couldn't she tell her? Robert has another daughter, and they have a relationship. Holly says Anna did a much better job at raising Robin than she did her. Holly says she was 12 and didn't want Robert to hate her for showing up on his doorstep with a daughter he never knew about. She says Robert is the love of her life, and she betrayed him. Sasha thinks this is another con, and either she or Robert is the target. Holly swears it's not a con, and she doesn't want to ruin things for her, but she and Cody are cousins. Sasha tells her she's done with her, stay out of her life, and stay away from Cody more. The Holly twist no one saw coming. In the stables, Tracy confronts Cody about Sasha hitting Michael up for money for him. She also notes Sasha said he considered asking her himself. She asks if he's in trouble. Cody promises he is not in trouble. She says, "Then you don't need the money." Cody says that need and want are two different things. He explains Serenity is on the market, and he's always fantasized about buying the place and turning it into something. She asks what the asking price is. He says $6 million. She asks what stopped him from asking her for money. He gets the impression that many people draw from the bank of Tracy, and he doesn't want to be one of them. Tracy guesses the staff has been gossiping, so spill it. Cody has heard about Mitch and Ned's father, and he didn't want to be another man to use her. Tracy admits many men have used her, and she fell for the biggest offender of all, Luke. However, what started as a scam turned into friendship and eventually love. More. Behold the Grey's Anatomy cast, then and now Cody admits his entry into Port Charles wasn't that great, but he's done work to better himself. Tracy tells him that Leo and James think he hung the moon and that he's great with the horses. Cody asks Tracy how she feels about him. She likes him, so is something he wants to ask her. He asks, "Do you want to take Hades out tomorrow?" She says she does early. Cody tells her that if he gets Serenity, he wants to do it on his own, and not because he borrowed money from a very good friend. Tracy returns to the mansion as Sasha storms out the front door. Tracy sees Holly and says, "Look what the cat dragged in." Tracy asks why she's here and what she did to upset their cook. Holly explains that she returned with Lucky Spencer to try to help Lulu. Holly says she's heard Tracy employs Mac's son. Tracy informs her that Cody is none of her concern. Holly had no idea she was so fond of Cody. Tracy says he's a nice man. She wonders why Ethan hasn't come home to be with his sister. Holly explains he didn't take not being a match for Lulu well, and she hasn't seen him in a while. Tracy finds it odd that she's here and not with her upset son. Sasha goes to the stables, and Cody says Tracy was just here. He knows she asked Tracy for cash, which is nice, but she didn't need to. Sasha rushes into his arms and passionately kisses him. She quickly pulls away, claims she left a sofa in the oven, and rushes out. She's visibly shaken. More, the full story of Sasha's parentage. Read it here more. Portia's only hope is Ava. Alexis drops by Jordan's office to talk about Molly and TJ. She reveals Molly visited her in Pentonville, and she knows Molly and TJ are struggling. She fears Ava's trial, and Rick taking the case could push them over the edge. She admits Rick's a good attorney, and Molly and TJ may not survive as a couple if Rick gets Ava off. Alexis wonders if they should step in and help. Jordan says if they are to survive, they must do it on their own and without their help. Jordan says their kids have to decide on their own if they live their lives together or apart. Rick and Ava have dinner at the Port Charles Grill. Rick tells Ava if all goes well, she'll be a free woman. Ava likes his confidence. Rick admits he has a strategy but doesn't want to share it yet. Rick also notes one of his other clients, Heather, is having her case ruled on tomorrow. He says she should hope her case goes as smoothly as Heather's, as Ava has a lot of people lined up against her. Christina enters and spots Ava with Rick. Ava tells Rick, "Here comes one of my biggest fans." Christina approaches them and Rick asks how she is. Christina says she could be better. She could be home with her daughter. Rick points out it was supposed to be Molly's daughter. That was the agreement. Christina doesn't know how Molly can stand to look at her father when he's representing Ava, the reason Atella died. Rick says Molly knows what she does. Irene's death wasn't Ava's fault but hers. Christina says Ava threatened her and screamed at her. Ava tells Christina to calm down as she's making a scene. Christina wants to make a scene and screams that she killed Connie and Morgan and didn't pay for her crimes, but she won't get away with this. Ava says she lost a daughter too and knows her pain. Christina says Ava got to know her daughter and watched her grow up. Christina cries she never got to hold her daughter. She says Ava will pay for what she's done. Christina then slaps the glass out of Rick's hand as he sips it. It shatters on the floor. Suddenly, Alexis appears and shouts, "Christina." Ava notices Rick's lip is bleeding. He says, "Not to worry, as I won't press charges." Alexis tells Christina they are leaving. Before they go, Rick tells Alexis congrats on the Kate's ruling. He notes it's a miracle that the gun showed up when it did. He guesses she has friends in high places. Outside, Christina vents to her mother that Ava is in there having drinks, and her uncle is defending her. Alexis informs Christina that if she wants Ava to go to prison, then stop helping her defense. She tells her daughter that Rick goaded her into blowing up in there, likely to use it as part of Ava's defense to show how she has repeatedly targeted Ava. Back inside, Ava knows this can't be easy on Rick, as that baby was his granddaughter. Ava wonders why he's representing her. Rick believes Christina is to blame for the accident and that she's out of control, which everyone in this restaurant can testify to. Ava realizes he set this up. Rick did, and Ava says she understands why Sonny hates him so much. He's more interested in what she thinks of him and his tactics. Ava says the jury is still out, and Alexis will know what he's up to with this stunt. Rick says he will break Christina on the stand just like he did tonight. More, so is this how Sam dies? TJ returns home after picking up the dry cleaning. He got Molly her dress for Marshall's big send-off at the Savoy. Molly forgot about the party and has been caught up in a case. TJ asks what the case is. Molly admits it's Ava Jerome's case. TJ thinks it is a bad idea to get involved in that, but Molly says she is only looking over it. She says if anyone is going to tank this case, it will be Christina and her knack for self-destruction. She says the case rests on Christina's testimony, and she's a ticking time bomb that will go off, and her dad will play with her like a fiddle. Molly hopes her calm testimony will help, and she plans to point the finger at Ava. She asks TJ, if you were called to testify, what will you say? TJ agrees with her after thinking it over and even hearing Ava's side of the story. They wouldn't have lost Irene without the Ava component. He'll never forgive her sister, but she didn't throw herself out that window, and Ava must pay. Sam and Dante return home, and Dante tells her that Rocco's mom will live because of her and that she's a hero. Sam says she's just a person doing a good thing. He says it's more than a good thing and kisses her. Sam and Dante call the kids downstairs and reveal they found a donor for Lulu. Dante then tells them the donor is Sam. Rocco embraces her in tears. They ask when the surgery is, and Dante says it's the day after tomorrow. Scout is worried and asks her mom if she'll be OK. Sam insists she will be fine, and she and Dante explain the operation to Scout. The youngster suggests they have a party after the operation when her mom and Rocco's mom are better. Rocco thanks his dad for coming through with his promise to find a donor for his mom. Dante has them all come in for a group hug. The show ends with a shot of Lulu's bed and the monitors she's hooked up to beeping.